Pilates challenge. Today is day 10. We work with arms and shoulder girdle. Today I'm going to use a TheraBand. So which TheraBand you should buy? I like to use this. The brand is called TheraBand. So I think in the physios or at the hospital they use a lot. I like to use green or blue. It's a medium or medium resistance, and I like to have long so that sometimes I can use double because this is not so strong, or sometimes I use single. Or if you want to buy it at the normal sports shop, usually they are a little tighter than this TheraBand, but then try to buy the less resistance, because I want you to start with the less resistant and gradually you can change it to the stronger one. But it's the small one, you can work ideally the small muscles around the shoulder girdle. So this is, you need to have a right resistance that you can feel the good, the contraction of the muscle, but it should not be really strong, like you are really fighting. No. Okay, so the weak one. So today we use the TheraBand, the green, quite long. Well, the one of the most important to work with the arms is your shoulders position, your arm position, because as I explained the first week with the arm and then shoulder exercise, I was explaining how the shoulder joint was made. The shoulder joint is made by a clavicle and shoulder blades. So if they are not in the right position, the head of the arm bone is not in the right position. So in that case, if you slouch and then do the arm exercise, you're gonna just use the wrong muscle. So it's most important to bring it back in the correct position and your arm in the correct position, and then do the exercise. That's the really important point, posture. Okay, so let's start with small muscle around your shoulder joint. So I wanted to have the band single, palm facing up and elbows bent. Your upper arm is right next to the body and slightly, gently touching your ribs. Okay, you don't need to squeeze, but it's slightly touching. And then you just rotate. So you just bring the hands up, but it's that actually your upper arm is rotating externally and then in. Okay. So you keep your elbows at 90 and open and then in. Keep the neck and shoulder nice and long and in. So if you like to exhale open or breathe out or breathe in, it doesn't matter. I like to exhale out and inhaling, but sometimes when I change, it's important thing that you try to match your one breathing for one movement. So one movement I wanted to do about 8 to 10 times. So next is opening your whole arm, straight arm, okay? So now this time is palm facing down. First your shoulder position, and then open. So once you open just as you can see your hands in your side. Okay, they don't need to go back of your body. Okay, so that to keep the right angle for your shoulder joint. Open. About 3/4, a little bit more. On the way to the side. Oops, sorry. So again, it's important that your shoulders, your hips, shoulders and head stacked on top of each other while you're doing. Your legs are slightly open, hip width apart, hips distance. And then you feel the same weight on your both feet. Cool. Right. If you feel that this TheraBand is too much for you, you feel the pain because maybe you had a shoulder dislocation or you had a frozen shoulder. So start to do without any resistance, without anything. And then gradually start to use the TheraBand, okay? So the next one is bicep, okay? So this muscle. These muscles usually we have a little stronger because in the daily life we have so many movement in front of our body, carrying the heavy stuff. Okay, so I like to use the double. So the right foot is standing on the TheraBand, and in this case now I have it in double. I hold both. Set your shoulder, set your head. Draw your abdominals, and then feel the good resistance to start, and then up, and then down. Resist back. Why? Because this muscle, bicep, when you bring the hands up, it's an eccentric contraction. That means it's shortening the muscle that I'm using, contracting. But when you let it go, okay, let it go, yeah, then this muscle is elongating, lengthening, but in the same time using. So that makes muscle stronger and leaner. Okay, so that's a really good way of working the muscle. So you don't shorten the muscle, elongating and then stronger, leaner. Okay. Other thing is this exercise is great. It's yes, bicep exercise, but you try to keep your shoulders stable as possible. Keep the hips square, stable as possible, because if you in the daily life, you like to carry the heavy back on the one side, or you have a little baby holding on the one side. If your arms are not strong, if your shoulder stabilizer is not as strong, what is going to happen? You start to use your body or cause the imbalance. So keep your body in neutral, nice and balanced, right and left, and then use this. Okay, so that's very, very important. Next is deltoid. Okay, so deltoids I like to use the single. Same, shoulder is stable and then lift. If the TheraBand is long enough, you can do the both arms together. Okay, if your TheraBand is long enough. Today we do single, because sometimes when you do single it's challenging because you work with the one side, but try to keep your body even. I try to feel the same weight on the both feet. I'm not leaning one side, even when I'm working asymmetry, I'm doing asymmetry movement. So that's the great exercise. Cool. So the next is we do on the other side. Bicep, step left foot, and then boss. Set your shoulder. I feel the same weight on the both feet, head on top of the body, and then bend. And oh, sorry, I did wrong. This is concentric contraction, and this is eccentric contraction. You don't need to remember it, but it's just important that you are shortening the muscle to contract, and you are longer, lengthening this muscle, but in the same time using. You don't need to know these terms, but it's good to know that you can work on the both way, up and down. And the TheraBand helps you to be aware of this, because it gives you a resistance. You can feel it more. If you don't have a TheraBand right now at home, you can use it also having the little weight or bottle of water. Okay, now deltoid. Oh, hips, your legs slightly open, hip distance apart. I try to keep my right and left side even while I'm doing the asymmetry movement, only the left side working. Okay, so next one is everybody love tricep toning because tricep is tend to become weaker. As I said, that we have too much movement strengthening in our daily life in front of our body. So I usually like to tone more, work a little bit more on the back side. So step the right foot and a left foot back. Keep your legs aligned, your hips are square and pointing forward. Keep the same length, same resistance both right and left because we work both arms together, and the head is aligned with the body. So you don't poke the head forward, bring the back of the head and chins down. Pull the tummy in. Okay, inhale to open the chest. Exhale, draw your tummy to pull your hands back. You can feel it when your arms are back of your body, and then resist back. When you resist back, don't round your shoulder. Keep the chest open. Exhale back. As I said, you can change your breathing as you like. What do you prefer? If you feel better pulling with the inhale, that's fine. As long as you can keep the chest open but just pull the tummy in, and then shoulders in the right position, you can alternate your breathing. I challenge to shorten my TheraBand and now pulls. Okay, good. Now switch your legs because we work with the lower limb. Arm movement is the same, so you can change the arm movement. Hip square, bend your left knee. Your left knee is just above your left foot. Open the chest, head is in the position, draw your tummy in. Now bend your elbows. Elbows are slightly sticking back of your body, and then keep your upper arms in the same position and you just extend your elbows. Let's do about 10. And then keep the chest open, don't slouch, and now bring your hands, squeeze inwards. Cool. So it's done for today. Oh, I can feel it already. So it's great exercise to tone your arm, but not only, as I say, it's the shoulders, small shoulders, core muscles, like a small shoulder muscle to keep the shoulders right position, arms in right position. Let's do the stretch. So first you do this, outside of the arm, so this all the way. And while you're doing, if you feel any discomfort or pain, start to do very small range of motion. The most important, set your head of the arm in the right position, set your clavicle and shoulder blades. So for this, you can go back to the week 1 to see a little bit more. And then move your arms. And then.
Sunlight that always stays, dinner by the waterway.